Stephen Ministry is a one-on-one caring ministry led by caring church members trained to serve as Stephen ministers and overseen by a church leadership team that includes our pastor, Katie Lancaster. It's not just a ministry at Kenilworth Union. There are more than 13,000 congregations worldwide who use Stephen Ministries' care model to be present to people experiencing any number of life experiences: grief, health issues, divorce, spiritual crisis, job loss, infertility, unemployment, hospitalization, loneliness, financial stress, or other life difficulties. Because it is confidential care, we won't tell any stories about care relationships here in our program, but the Stephen Ministry National Office has a few examples of relationships that feel in line with the kinds of situations that unfold here at Kenilworth Union. For example, Molly said, "After the death of my mom, I needed someone who would listen, even to the same stories over and over, and who wouldn't be afraid to say her name or bring up her memory." Andrew said, "When someone you love is terminally ill, people often pull back because they're scared or they don't know what to say. But my Stephen minister stood with me through it all, listening, talking, and helping me on the journey." Nancy said, "My Stephen minister is kind and fearless, genuinely attentive. She's there without trying to fix me or talk me out of my feelings as I struggle with what's happening." And James said, "When things seemed like too much to handle, my Stephen minister brought normalcy and calm. With him by my side, I knew I could make it from one week to the next. I could feel God's presence when my Stephen minister was there." We talk about Stephen Ministry in worship today because we know that there are people in our church community who may benefit from this ministry. You don't have to be a church member to be paired with a Stephen minister. It's important that our congregation knows about this important way we care for one another in times of struggle and challenge. Why am I a Stephen minister? I'd like to read you the last line of a recent note from Pastor Katie Lancaster to the Stephen ministers of Kenilworth Union Church. She ended it by saying, "Thank you for all that you bring to the ministry of Kenilworth Union, creating sacred shelter for those whose worlds have been turned upside down. To me, this is the most awesome honor in the world, to create sacred shelter for those whose worlds have been turned upside down. We walk shoulder to shoulder with care receivers through their pain." If you or someone you love would like to work with a Stephen minister, you can talk with Pastor Katie Lancaster or any one of the Stephen ministers about next steps. Thank you.